Am I the asshole for wanting a child-free wedding?
Mm.
I, 22 female, am getting married soon. Since my fiance and I are child free, and because we plan to have alcohol at our wedding, we decided to have a child free wedding at the age cutoff at 25 or 21, excuse me. This requirement so far has gone over well with most of our invitees. Most of our invitees don't have kids anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. I do have one friend, Mel, 20, female, that I have to had to exclude from the wedding. After realizing that pretty much everyone else from the same social circle has been invited except her, she confronted me and demanded to know why she wasn't invited. I tried to explain that it wasn't personal and that I just didn't want to have to worry about any underage drinking going on under my nose at my wedding day. But Mel kept accusing me of being a bad friend. She argued that since we had drank together before, it shouldn't be such a big deal. But I told her that it was different since we were both underage at the time. I was 20 and she was 18, 19 ish when we started drinking together. Now, as an adult at 22, I feel like I have a responsibility to prevent underage drinking. And as the bride, I feel like I have the right to have a child free wedding. Mel is unconvinced and keeps talking bad about me behind my back to our mutual friends and making snarky comments about me feeling superior. I don't see why she can't just relax and let me have my wedding day the way I like. So, am I the asshole? Yes, dear.
I call bullshit.
On what?
She's how old now?
She's 22, and her friend
So
Mel is
she's been
20,
legally drinking for like what, like a year and a half or some shit.
maybe fucking 6 months. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the whole focus on this seemed to be on the drinking part. But she says, "Am I the asshole for wanting a child-free wedding?" But most of what she talked about was the drinking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds to me like the kids weren't even the real problem. Because if it came down to it, you really talked through it, I'd be like, "I hear you, fuck them kids." But
Right.
But it seemed like it's a whole I don't want any underage drinking. They're like, you used to do the same shit. It's not a big deal. She gets caught, she in trouble, not you. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Technically, the venue's in trouble.
yeah,
Yeah.
still not on you. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those.
If they're not
I'm
carding, that's on them.
yeah, and
I mean, I've never been carded at a wedding either.
I've
Although
worked
who
weddings
gives a
where no
fuck?
one was carded. I saw people who were definitely not 21 getting drinks, and guess what
Exactly.
happened? Nothing.
Nothing.
Like,
I just find it funny that this chick is 20 and she's like, yeah, we would want a child free wedding, so you can't come because you're under 21. Bitch. By like
yeah,
what?
yeah. It really sounds to me like she just doesn't want her at the wedding anyway.
No. No,
At least
she's
that's
like,
what it
"Oh,
sounded like to me. I could be wrong. It's happened once before, but it looks like with this situation, she just doesn't want this 20-year-old at her wedding. Now, what the real thing is behind that,
I don't
reasons,
know.
all that, I don't
Let me
know.
see
All I
if I
know
can
is what she
find.
told us. But
Right. I'm gonna see if I can find some comments for this shit.
She
Continue amongst yourselves.
fact that she said, now that I'm an adult, I want a child free wedding and can't invite my fucking friend because she's a
Mhm.
child. You are 2 years older than her.
yeah,
Yeah.
Up. Like
Uh,
that's what got me right there.
no, I love Mel. I just can't stand underage drinking, is one of the comments.
it's such an arbitrary thing too, because like, what is really the difference between a 20-year-old and a 21-year-old?
Nothing.
Pretty much to say if you don't like me, just say that.
Yeah, right? One of the ones is like, what's the difference now? It's different now that I'm of age.
It's my responsibility to make sure that underage drinking doesn't happen, even though a year ago I was underage drinking and it was fine.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know.
I mean,
This sounds like she has a complex now that she's an adult. So
oh, yeah. She thinks she's super hot shit now that she's getting married. She's over 21. Like, bitch, you can't even legally rent a car. Shut up.
right.
It kind of
Like,
reminds me, yeah, it kind of reminds me of how old was I? Probably like 15, probably around 15 at the time, maybe 16, but I think it was about 15. Where my uncle, he had this group I was a part of, music and all that. I played with them, sang with them, all that. We were at this one church. Strangely enough, this church was called Mount Carmel, but it wasn't that Mount Carmel, Matt. Um, but we're at this place. The whole place was a mess. It's just we didn't want to be there. Like the bathroom stalls were all broken. Church was all broke down. They were like basically saying we had to, to give them money and all that kind of stuff when the collection plate came around and all that kind of nonsense. We were over it anyway, so we were mad. But there was some back and forth happening between one of the members of the group with us and somebody from their church. And during that argument, he told her, "You are a minor to me," and did this with her hands. Granted, the person who said this was 18 years old. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
The only one I've ever played that game with is my brother. Really?
Oh, yeah, that don't count.
Yeah. Like, honestly, and I still bought him cigarettes. And I'm like, you can't do that. You're not 18. And I'm like, here you go. Like, so.
I mean, honestly, I'll say this as often the friend that was slightly older than his other friends by like a few months. It is your obligation to get your friends the things they can't get yet. Like, that's just what you do. All right.
I definitely bought booze for younger people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately for me, Travis said fuck Illinois and moved away before he turned 21. So
I did.
Poor Maddie.
That is true.
I had to wait that extra 4 months to turn 21 on my own, and just go get my own liquor because I looked like I was 40 at 21.
Okay.
Yeah, I always looked older.
I was still
sure...
I still pretty much look like this at 21, like exactly the same. Not much has changed. Maybe like a couple more frown lines and the bags under my eyes might be a little deeper, but
I still had all my hair at 21. So
I was about to say completely different man at that point.
I didn't have the beard or nothing. It was up here, not here.
Aww,
we literally just got done
face.
talking. Kay was giving me shit because I was brushing my beard, and I told her I'm at the point now in my life where I have spent more time bald as a person than I have with hair as a person.
He keeps telling me that he once had long hair, but there are 0 pictures.
Oh, he did though. We both did.
I don't believe you guys. I'm sorry. Don't believe
we both did. Like,
show me the pictures.
That's what I was about to say. Do you have photos still, or at least do your parents have photos?
My parents probably have pictures of us that I have to find. But yeah, we both had it. My hair was like down to my shoulders, like
as was mine. Freshman year.
Yeah. I straightened it, thought I was Snoop Dogg back then, man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it exactly what you're picturing. Mm-hmm. That's fucking funny.
Wore it in braids when I was actually in school because Marion had rules about, your hair and all that kind of stuff where your hair technically couldn't touch the collar of your shirt if you were a guy. And so I would, get it braided so that the braids came up a little bit so the bottom of the hair didn't touch the collar, and they used to say like it's supposed to be the length of the hair, not the style in which the hair is worn. Okay, well, you can't prove that. So swear I'm keeping it, and you can't make me take my braids out. So are you going to pay to get them redone? Exactly. Mm-hmm. I didn't pay to get them done in the first place. You don't know that.
You don't know that. It's not my mom did, but
wasn't even that. My sister.
No, it was your sister-in-law. It's like, I'm going to do it. Sure.
That's awesome.
And they used to try and give me cornrows in study hall, so.
Yeah, that was my cousin practiced on me, and she would do them super fucking tight, where you would have like a facelift for like a day. Super tight.
I had really thin hair though; it didn't work out.
Oh, you were the type that had to use like gel or a pomade in order to make it like thicker feeling, so it would actually stick.
But there were times though, like when we were in high school, before either of us would drive, we'd be like. Literally like walking down the street, and it'd be so much wind, and both our hair would be like behind us and shit. I'm just thinking about that now, like, oh, fun times.
You guys are such dorks.
Yeah.
Dorks.
Amani, let me ask you this, because Kate and I have done the whole wedding thing. We've been there. I didn't really have a preference as to whether or not kids were invited or not. It's like, yeah, if you want to bring your kids. You guys want to leave whenever the fuck you want? Cool.
I made sure not to invite children. The only kid was my cousin's daughter, who was less than a year old. That was about it. And Alina.
Yeah, there weren't any kids at your wedding.
No, there were maybe like a baby and Alina, who was like maybe a year and a half.
But nobody that we were around at that point had children.
You're right. True. I'm thinking all the people that you had there, none of them had kids yet. You're right.
Well,
fuck's his name? Kyle and what's the name? Didn't they have kids?
Yeah, but
they
Kyle
didn't
doesn't
bring
take
them.
his kids anywhere. So
Okay.
Thank God.
that was like his. We're getting away from the children. We're finding
Gotcha.
a babysitter. He wouldn't have brought
Yeah.
them even if I invited them.
I don't
Okay.
understand why people want to bring, like, unless your kid is in the wedding, why the fuck do you want to bring them with?
Yeah, unless they're family, it's one of those weird things
Yeah.
where it's just like, at our, like, when our wedding happens, like my family has a lot of children,
Right.
and
You might not be able to get away with it.
most of them belong to my
So many
brother.
kids.
But
So when do I need to set some time to come out to Atlanta side, Travis?
I mean, you can just come now, honestly. But now, as far as for a wedding,
Not in the summer. Hell no.
I was gonna say it's gonna be 95 here tomorrow. I think
No.
I'm good.
I'm
going
not
to
leaving
Atlanta.
my house tomorrow. As much as I have to pick up Zoe from school. That's about it. That's it. Not going outside. That's gross. Can't
it
do
is
it.
pretty gross outside.
Any preference on, like, do you guys care if when you guys get married, if there are kids at the wedding?
I mean, for me, it's really going to be kids from his family. Realistically, like when my brother got married, he was like, no kids at the wedding. He's like, I'm picking people to be there that supported our relationship, help us grow, all like that. And it was a venue that was at a park. He's like, I'm trying to make this as simple, nice, but cheap. I'm not trying to go into debt for a wedding for him. And he was like, I want to be in there, enjoy my moment, be out. And for them, it was like, we're leaving from the wedding to go to, they went to Naples for their honeymoon. They're like, we're going there. So when we check in the, the hotel, they see us to see, maybe get some discounts, upgrades, whatever. He's like, I'm not doing all that. So I was like, no, that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had a breakfast wedding. It was like at 10 a.m. Yeah. And like every time everybody's like, it's the first wedding I ever had bacon at. And I'm like, I know. Why the fuck wouldn't you want bacon at a wedding?
Indeed.
It was the best.
I'm
I stole
thinking
drink tickets and gave them to Travis.
Yeah.
He kept following me around because I kept forgetting that I had the drink tickets in my pocket. And like it was like every hour he's like, hey, where are you going? I'm like, just here.
just give them here.
Just give you.
I mean, if you're not gonna use them, shit. But yeah, like I said, my family has a lot of kids, and honestly, the thing is, I like most of them. So I don't.
And they're a little
mind
bit
them
older,
getting-
aren't they? They're not
not
like
even,
little...
not really.
It's a wide range.
My brother kept going. Like it was one of those things. Like he was there, and like they were like, oh, they're all like early teens or whatever. They're gonna be moving on, graduating, all that kind of thing soon. And then he had some more.
And then also his older kids had babies. So now it's it's a repetitive thing that once you get to that point, there's always going to be somewhere like a young baby toddler section.
Yeah.
So
Kobe had kids too, right?
He has
one.
Yeah. Did
Marquise has a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So even like the kids that were kids when we were in high school, now they've got kids.
Yeah.
So like,
God, don't you feel old? Fuck.
Yeah,
I got over that a while ago.
Yeah, you got a lot of reminders though.
Yeah, I mean, I officiated Kobe's wedding. Like,
that's so cute. That's what happened to my cousin. Like, she had her daughter. I think she was like 21 when she had Ariana, and then like a year before we got married. So I was 13 when Ariana was born, and then 25, 24 when Alina was born. So they were 10, 13 years apart or something like that. It was ridiculous. So now her oldest is like, she's like 21. She's going to be 22. Oh, she's going to be 22 next week.
Yeah. My brother's,
I'm going to throw up.
My brother's oldest kid is 30. That's Tierra. His youngest kid is 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a gap.
That is a fucking gap.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
There's a gap because your parents also had a gap between you and Terrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 10 years older than me.
That's what say that 10-year gap. So
do you know if you were an baby or did they?
I've been told I'm the only one that was actually on purpose.
Okay. I mean, your mom lies to you a lot because you're the baby, but
I'm the
He's
favorite.
the golden child.
He's the golden child.
Oh, I know.
I'm the miracle baby.
I got away with a lot because he was the golden child. Like I would go to his house because
that's expensive when you can do
I was
that.
just white Travis. So like I was just the bonus twin that would come over and we'd get pizza and we'd play video games and like all the good that he got, I also got. It was fantastic.
I will tell you this, his father, anytime that there's a person that comes to the house, and especially if it's like one of their white friends or whatever, they'll be like, let me tell you about Matt. He is like my white son that, I gave him a key and he just came and go. Like, I know he's not at the house, but he was like, yeah, just go on, whatever. The only
I'm pretty
time
sure he
didn't
told
have
us that
keys
at the
when
wedding
he
too.
moved. So,
well, they didn't come.
My parents weren't at the wedding. My sister was there.
Oh yeah.
We called and talked to them though.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Is that what happened? Okay, I don't remember that. But.
Also, after we had Zoe during COVID, we called and talked to your parents and introduced them to Zoe when she was still a little baby.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the first time you called her little white baby.
I love that. I honestly do. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah, but like little white baby for now until she's no longer a baby, and then she'll be known as Doc.
She's gonna be 4 in 2 weeks.
Aww.
Yeah, she's still little though. She can still be little white baby.
Yeah, she talks like she's a grown up. She's ridiculous.
It was just weird for me because like growing up, I heard that whole like, is he invited to? I was always invited to the barbecue. Like I was just family. So like when I heard people, I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, of course I am. Like it's the Pointer family.
He was there.
In the house. That's part of his home.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I remember, like, this is so weird. I grew up in a very predominantly white neighborhood, but my cousin is half Ecuadorian, right? So she always hung out with more ethnic people. And I remember we were out of weed one night and we had to go visit her friend Asia. And like, I was I'm a very quiet person normally and very shy. And like, I'm in an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar people who are loud. And then she's rolling a blunt and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, girl, that's what I'm here for. She's like, oh, you're cool. You're cool. And I'm like, bro, just please give me some weed. Like, I just need to calm the fuck down now. Like, please help me. Like, but she was cool. She was really cool after that. But so yeah, I really liked her. But yeah, I used to make fun of my cousin's babe. Wasn't really her boyfriend, baby daddy Andre. I used to play fucking Rolling Stones all the time just to get it stuck in his head. Every time he came to fix her car. Every fucking time.
Did
he hated them.
Like him, or was it just fun to
No, he was a dick.
Fuck with him? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's an asshole. Because
there's some people who's just fun to fuck with, so it's just,
Oh yeah, it was fun, but he deserved it too. Worked out.
Gotcha.
I give Kate shit all the time because she tells me about like her high school experience growing up and how they had like a climbing wall at one point.
That was one time. It was for a week, okay? And that was middle school, all right? It wasn't even high school.
Yeah.
That almost makes it worse.
I know.
That's what I said.
High school is beautiful.
Here's the thing. Like, I went to Marion. I went to school with the rich kids. We didn't even have a climbing wall.
Well, we were driving yesterday and she looked at this school in Palatine. She goes, oh, it looks like a prison. I'm like, that's what schools are supposed to look like. That's kind of what they are.
I was joking. I was like, I didn't have bars on my windows at school. And he's just driving. And I'm like, did you have fucking bars on your windows?
He's like, wait a minute.
And he's like,
Thornwood, so I mean,
we did. We had bars on the windows and cages in the hallways.
Here's the thing. Like I talk shit about Thornwood, but I lived right up the street. Like it was
he lived closer than I did.
I'm about to say it was literally right up the street.
He was talking about how yesterday we were driving around and he's like, it's so weird that there's like a forest preserve and then like, like buildings and stuff. And I was like, bro, my high school was surrounded by a forest preserve.
Let me explain this. You'll be driving through a town and then there will be like 4 miles where it's just woods on both sides of the road before you hit like the next just major open town. Like it's a lot of forest. It's not just a forest preserve where like there's a sign and oh, there's a walking trail and blah blah blah. Like it's just straight fucking forest.
The one we drove by was a forest preserve. There is a sign. There's a campground on one side with a sign that says campground with log cabins and fucking RVs, bro.
There's RVs, bro. I didn't see it, so I can't really confirm or deny.
I'll send you pictures. I swear to God. I'm totally right.
You don't even know how to get back there. But you should probably do the next one.
I do too.